our June forecast. And I just want to tell you that we have a fantastic, wonderful month here to talk about. I don't really have a whole lot to say because it's just nothing but beautiful sextiles. But I will run through some key days this month. I do energy readings and daily horoscopes once a day, and I put those out, and I'll go into all the energies and how they're affecting us on a daily basis. But for now, let's run through this month. So on June 2nd, we have a full moon in Sagittarius, and it's going to be in your 11th house. Now, I really like it being in the 11th house. This energy is going to work really well. I think for you, this Sagittarius full moon is going to just feel right. It's going to make you want to mix and mingle. It's going to make you, more outgoing. I think where you may see an ending to is just wanting to stay away from people. For a while there, I think people weren't appreciating the gift that you were as an Aquarius. But I think you're coming out of your shell. You're understanding that you are the future, that you are innovative, and that you do have something to give to others, and that there is a reason for you out there. And I think that the cumulative energy or the ending in this situation could simply be that, your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes now have got bigger, and that that you're a significant presence out there and that we need you. And so it could be a transformation in that area. It could be a death to pulling yourself back and holding yourself back. And it could be, a regeneration in, a really positive area. On the 5th, we have a Mars in Gemini is going to be trining Jupiter in Leo, and Mercury in Gemini is going to be trining Jupiter in Leo. For you, that's going to be in your 5th house, and so this is going to be in love, romance, it's going to be in creativity, it's going to be in pleasure. You're just going to want to feel good. And there's so much support on this day to help you feel good, to help you, to make you romantic, to express yourself, maybe with others, in your 7th house. I really, really want you guys to understand that Aquarius energy and Leo energy are on opposite sides. And so anytime that you have this Aquarius energy, it automatically has something to do with just how you are with partners, how you are with others, where you fall, versus where you rise. I mean, if you're an Aquarius, where you rise is in Aquarius, but where you fall is in your Leo energy. So I think falling in this case is not just falling and finding the worst parts of yourself. I think in this case, it's falling in love, falling for somebody else, seeing your life with somebody, wanting that, yearning for it, getting yourself back out there, mixing and mingling with friends, trying to create opportunity. And you're going to find that if you do that, this month is extremely supportive. It could generate something out of thin air, completely unexpected, that really captures your heart and captures your eye, at least. It's very hard to capture your guys' heart. You like distance. You like to keep it at bay for a while until you fully analyze it and think if that's what you really want. So on the 8th and the 10th are just fabulous energies. It's nothing but sextiles, guys. So it's nothing but harmonious energy up there, just sprinkling down fairy dust all over us, making us feel like we are high on life and high off of adrenaline and energy, and we're just feeling so completely fabulous. The Sun in Gemini is going to be sextiling Jupiter in Leo, and Mars in Gemini is going to be sextiling Jupiter in Leo. This means, and also Venus in Leo is going to be sextiling Mercury in Gemini. So this leads me to believe that these conversations that you're having with others, right? This conversations about love, about romance, about generating a future, Venus goes into Leo. When it goes into Leo, it's going to make you want to think about partnering or what your partnerships were like or partnering with others. I mean, it makes you think along those lines. So maybe for a while you've been, secluding yourself, keeping yourself locked away. You swore you don't ever want to do it, but there's just something in you now that knows that you're probably, if you did meet somebody special, you would actually be ready to be able to do that. Like you could remain balanced and have a very successful relationship if you venture out. On the 11th, Mercury does go direct, and I love this energy. I want to say wait and hold off if you're going to buy any big purchases. You're feeling pretty darn spunky, really good. And so you're going to want to go out there and pick up your life and, start communicating with others and getting out as much as you can, calling everybody on the phone. I say there still could be some delays. So just really honestly wait until Mercury speeds up a little bit. That's 2 days after. So that's around the 13th. That's when you start going out. That's when you start mixing and mingling. That's when you start talking to people. That's when you start trying to generate this futuristic approach to your life, and making it an energy that, you can work with and build your hopes and your dreams and your wishes on. I mean, that's what Jupiter is. It's a planet that's just benefic and it wants you to give you all that. But on the same day that Mercury goes retrograde, Mercury goes direct, Neptune goes retrograde. And so don't let that bug you. Neptune going retrograde just basically means that I think we visit more things in the unconscious realm when we're, meditating or when we're sleeping. I mean, it's just something where we see the messages. We don't get the messages so much from Neptune when Neptune is retrograde. And so I sometimes think that link to the universe, that second sight, that psychic ability, gets a little bit shut down when Neptune goes into retrograde. So you want to be aware of that. You just want to be very, very thorough in how you do things because at this point, Neptune is in retrograde. Then on the 14th, we have the Sun in Gemini, which is going to be trining Uranus in Aries. And then Mars in Gemini is going to be trining Uranus. This, of course, we've been going through this. And Venus in Leo is going to be trining Mercury in Gemini. This is a loving energy. This is about, for you, this is going to be in your 5th house. So this is going to be in romance. It could, like I said, all of this energy is pointing to sudden development, sudden, innovative, creative outlets for things. It's just a month of feeling good to be on this planet, to be here, to be having the human experience. That's what you're going to feel from these days. It can bring in a sudden love from nowhere. You thought you were never going to find anybody ever again. You're not even looking. And bam, it just comes from nowhere and it clicks. I do want to say that on the 14th, we are going to have Saturn is going to go from being in Sagittarius, it's going to go into Scorpio. Think back about the time about, October 2012 into 13 and 14. Like, think about what your life was back then. Think about how it had an impact, how Scorpio had an impact, because you're going to be revisiting that particular part in your life. You want to make sure that karmically you've paid all your debt, you've went through all of the karmic lessons that you had to, you sat down in the classroom, you did all your homework, and you've turned it in. Because if you haven't, this is the time when Saturn's going to come in and just honestly make you accountable. Even if you don't want to be, you don't really get much of a choice in this energy. The new moon in Gemini is going to be happening on the 16th. And I think this is a wonderful, wonderful new moon. For you, I think that this is going to be really well. I think it's going to be in your 5th house, so it's going to be regarding love and romance. I think what could happen though is you could have a little PTSD from what's been going on in your life for all these years. And you might find that this new moon, this moon in Gemini, is going to be in quincunxing Saturn and Scorpio, which means if you do get pulled back into that old karmic lesson that you needed to revisit, you might find it to be a difficult date of reality, a very, very difficult date of reality. But for the most part, you can still plant your seeds. I think because there's no delusion, because there's nothing here that doesn't allow you to see things for what they are. I think when you plant these seeds and when you're looking at these new hopes and you're trying to generate something new from your life in all this Gemini energy, you're going to be realistic, and I really like it. I almost like this moon kind of opposed like this. It keeps Gemini energy grounded and realistic and humble, and that's the kind of energy you need to have to build, all of this energy in. Now, or positive future in. So, then on the 22nd of June, we have Jupiter in the 7th house in Leo, and it's going to be trining Uranus in Aries. And I really like that energy. I also say that Venus in Leo is going to be trining Uranus in Aries. Again, this is just, I don't think it's as good as a sextile, but trining energy can go one of two ways. You can either be so lax about it that it's just working, and so you don't really need to put forth an effort to have a good day today, because pretty much you're going to have to. So you're not looking at how to make that day better. It could pull you backward, and it could make you revisit your past. Again, Venus in Leo is going to be quincunxing Pluto in Capricorn, and then Saturn in Scorpio is going to be quincunxing the Sun in Cancer and Mars in Gemini. Saturn in Scorpio energy is a difficult energy to go through. When it pulls you back, it's a very intense energy. It's all about control. It's all about relinquishing control and learning how to maintain your personal power at the same time. The day that I really want to warn everybody about is the 23rd of June, and that's just kind of a hot mess of a day. We have Mercury in Gemini. It's going to be squaring off with Neptune in Pisces, and your moon in Scorpio is going to be squaring the Sun and Mars in energy. And anytime your moon in Scorpio is squaring the Sun in Cancer, it makes it for a deeply emotional day. And even though you're a detached person, when you're subjected to energy, it allows you to attach some emotional content to them. Maybe not to the level that some other people go through, but it's significant for you. And so you don't like being torn between your confident self and the fixed personality type that you are, and all this watery, unstable, I don't know kind of energy. It's just going to make you irritable and grumpy, and Mars is in there. So I would just be really careful on this day. Just don't lash out. Don't let it get away with you. Don't let people get to you. There's no need for it. Don't even worry about it. This is just a day. It will pass. Then on the 28th, we have Venus in the 7th house in Leo, and it's going to be trining Uranus in Aries. And I really, really, really like this energy. It's a very fun day. It's a very loving day. It's a loving month, guys. It's where you could ignite something significant from your past, or even generate an entirely new, unexpected opportunity in your future. I mean, it could mean something that incredible. Oh, it's a wonderful month. I really don't have a lot to talk about because it's just so fantastic, other than to tell you, tune into all of this high vibration and energy. Let it stimulate you. Let it make you happy again. Let it make you flourish again. I hope that you have many, many, many blessings. And I look forward to talking to you guys again next month if I don't